Hi there, Bill Hitchcock. Certainly hope you're having a wonderful day today. We have got a wonderful fishing report to get out to you. Lots of things have remained the same, except maybe gotten a little bit better, and there's been some changes that are going on. And as we've been talking about for the longest time now, March going into April is a transitional time of year, so things are transitioning, but bluefin tuna activity is still going on. You're not going to believe where these bluefins are being caught. Gray trout are being caught. Sea mullets are being caught. Bonito is starting to go ballistic, particularly in the south. So let's just jump right on into it. And so, of course, I got to get my eyeballs. Oregon Inlet Fishing Center, yellowfin tuna, yay, have made a grand appearance this week. That is a quote from the Oregon Inlet Fishing Center. Blackfin tuna, big eye tuna, bluefin tuna, and king mackerel, hello, have shown up out of the Oregon Inlet Fishing Center. I want to show you Jesse Gronetsky, yellowfin tuna. Just look in the box as he's bringing in the yellowfin tuna. Hopefully you noticed in the box there was a whole bunch of other yellowfin tuna, so the yellowfin tuna activity is going on. Now, speaking of tuna, we showed you last week how bluefin tuna were at the end of Jeanette's Pier in Nags Head. And also last time, I was calling it out of Kitty Hawk, which was quite embarrassing because I was just up there. Jeanette's Pier is in Nags Head. Anyway, take a look at this. Aki Men just landed 154-pound bluefin tuna fishing out of a kayak. Well, congratulations. And yes, that picture came to us in black and white. Well, not to be outdone, Stefan Turco, who does live in Kitty Hawk, just landed a bluefin tuna from his kayak at the end of Jeanette's Pier. So both of these kayakers caught both of these bluefin tuna at the end of Jeanette's Pier. And this has been going on for several weeks now, but it will be changing. Also, still, it tickles me. Big red drum at Jeanette's Pier. The one you're looking at here says Blaine caught this. Blaine, hi Blaine. Congratulations to you. Caught this drum. It's 44 inches long. Also, they're getting sea mullets and croaker. Now, here's something I want you to lock into. Jeanette's Pier, Nags Head reports water temperatures at 52 degrees. Now, Nags Head is about 10-12 miles north of Oregon Inlet. Now we're going to go about 10-12 miles south of Oregon Inlet to Rodanthe. The Rodanthe Pier just opened up, and looky there. Derek Meter got this 47-inch red drum. Now, this is why I wanted you to lock into that 52-degree water temperature up at Jeanette's Pier in Nags Head. At the Rodanthe Pier, which they're only about 20 miles apart, in between Jeanette's Pier and Rodanthe Pier, the water temperature is 67 degrees. Take a look at this. Seawater surface temperatures. You're seeing Nags Head where it's 52 degrees. You're seeing Rodanthe where it's 67 degrees. And you can see why. Again, those cold waters are moving north. They go all the way down to almost Portsmouth Island in February. But those cold waters from the effects of the Labrador Current are migrating north. And soon all of these beach water temperatures will start looking the same. Now let's scoot on down into Hatteras Red Drum Bait and Tackle. Lots of yearling and citation drum, lots of sea mullet, and a few croakers on the south side of the point, a few blowfish at ramp 43 and small flounders, a few pompano reported at Hatteras ramp 55, nice sized bluefish at the point. This is where we're getting the reports of the big bluefish, the Hatteras blues, start at the point, but concentrating primarily in Ocracoke. So let's skip on down to Ocracoke. Tradewinds Bait and Tackle talks about big drum, big bluefish, and sharks still. The big bluefish have consistently been in Ocracoke, and the large drum have consistently been in Ocracoke. So congratulations to them. The sharks will start going bye-bye. But enough of me. Let's go on into the Tradewinds Bait and Tackle video report, fishing report.
Howdy friends, it's Jeremy from Tradewinds, coming to you from the beach. Another fishing report. Tonight we've had some good luck with the red drum bite, bluefish. There's been a shark out here. Throughout the week this week we've had A lot of the same, some citation drums, some bluefish. The shark bite has definitely eased up. It's been a lot more of the drum and the bluefish. Anyhow, the weather looks good this week. Still really breezy. The fish don't really care about that, so not a problem. There is some rain in the forecast coming up pretty soon. That should be over in a day or two. I think that's Sunday and Monday. Anyhow, come on by Trade Winds. We'll get you hooked up with everything you need. Sorry if I lied to you this week and we didn't end up having any fresh bait. It's been a little tough to get them, and we'll get back on them as soon as we can. Pretty much all the fish you've seen posted this week have been caught on the frozen mullet, frozen shrimp, tuna belly. It's all been working really well to catch these drum out here. It's been citations and 30, 35, 38 inch drum. Anyhow, come on by and see us, and we'll get you out here, get you going. Thank you. Bye.
One of the things he brought up, the gentleman there doing the Trade Winds Bait and Tackle Fishing Report made an apology that they didn't have fresh mullet. They had to resort to frozen mullet because the delivery didn't come in. And I started laughing because I started thinking about Ocracoke 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago, that if you didn't bring it with you, you ain't getting it. So more than understand, Ocracoke is an island. There is no bridge to it. You got to take a ferry, whether from Hatteras or from Cedar Island or why I just went blank on the other place, I don't know, but there's only get to it by ferry. Now, this is what I'm really excited about showing you. From the central coastal area, this is Treshawn, Washington. He says, these trout have been nothing but good to me the past 2 weeks. Yes, I'm sure you all may know where this is at in Belhaven. He goes on to say, you don't need a charter, high technology, none of that new crap things Captain's got. Treshawn, go on, buddy. Rock on. It says, P.S. was safely released to fight another person. Got to let the big ones swim. He's been having a lot of success in the Bellhaven area with the speckled trout. Again, speckled trout are off limits in the ocean, in the saltwater, and in joint waters. They're on limits still in the backwaters where the Wildlife Resources Commission is the boss man. Now, chasing tails out of Atlantic Beach, North Carolina. Second business on the right as you cross the high-rise bridge. Gray trouts continue. They started reporting this about a week ago. Bonito have really showed up in great numbers. Red drum and bluefish. Now, last week, I believe Chasing Tails was reporting that the gray trout were in the turning basin. Well, I caught on a first-hand basis where they was 2 days ago. Here, that is the Coast Guard station at Fort Macon, where you see all those boats and that surf fishermen. That's where the gray trout have been, just on the backside of Beaufort Inlet, there at the Coast Guard station. Please beware, you can't just go on up in the Coast Guard area willy-nilly, so please be aware of any signs that say stay right there, stop where you're at, and all that kind of stuff. And the other thing, me and the mystery woman went out fishing for one of our most favorite fish to eat, puffers. Here's a little scene. That's in Atlantic Beach right there in the surf. Puffers, we caught 7 or 8 of them in about 30, 40 minutes or so, just throwing out a 2-hook bottom rig and shrimp. I call that stupid fishing, and I know that offends a lot of people, but it's what I tell you what, I've got pictures. Do you remember, if I can find this video in time, I will. Do you remember that boat that ran aground in Atlantic Beach right by the hotel? It used to be the Sheraton. Why, I can never remember the name of that either, and I only lived there for 5 years. But do you remember that boat that ran aground? Well, at that exact same spot, look what I found. This is a big honking rope. The diameter was probably 2 inches, and it was buried in the sand so bad that I couldn't pull it out, so I had to leave it. I actually found it the day before surf fishing when I got caught onto it. So I don't know if it's from that boat, but it's at the exact same location where that boat ran aground last year. Now let's move on down to the southern portion of Johnny Mercer's Pier, Bonito. Look at this. 2-hook bottom rig with shrimp on it, and they're catching Bonito 2 at a time at the Johnny Mercer Pier on a 2-hook. They're thick. And the Bonito started showing up down south first. Then they started moving up into the central area. So they're also getting sea mullets and puffers. The sea mullets and the puffers showed up there first. So that's been an area there, the Topsail, Wrightsville Beach area, all the way down into the Oak Island area for the sea mullet puffers and now bluefish. Roger Pier, nice size Virginia mullet with some puffers mixed in. Their beach water temperatures are 63 degrees, which is consistent with the seawater surface temperatures. By the way, those seawater surface temperatures, I've talked about this before, are from Rutgers University. Just Google them. They post, I don't know how many a day, and they archive them. You can go back years in the past. The current seawater surface temperatures that I accessed, we had a cold northerly wind, and again, these are sea surface temperatures. So when you got cold winds that's coming off the land, it will affect what the satellite imagery picks up. So don't be fooled by wind conditions that will alter the sea surface temperatures on a temporary basis. Now, I wanted to show you this. Mullet. Sea mullet. This is one of the times of year for sea mullet. When they come in March and April, they are a fantastic eating fish. They also are one of the lowest cost fish when you go into the seafood market, and I highly encourage people to get you some sea mullets. But there's some confusion. Over the past couple of weeks, this has come to me several times. People confusing a sea mullet with a jumping mullet, because a jumping mullet is usually just referred to as a mullet, and they are two different fish, and they do taste two different ways. Sea mullet names, jotted them down just so I wouldn't forget. But a sea mullet sometimes goes by the name of Virginia mullet or kingfish or northern kingfish. What else am I leaving out? Whiting. That's another popular. It's all the same fish. That's a sea mullet. That's a good eating fish. A mullet, like when you heard them talking about in Ocracoke about having mullet for bait, they're talking about the jumping mullet or striped mullet or a hardhead, as it's known sometimes. What's another or a Popeye sometimes. And depending on the size, you'll hear them talking about a corncob mullet. That's just a size reference. There's all different names for, I hate it when that happens. There's all different names for the two different types of mullets, and it can be confusing. But in terms of dining, sea mullet's what you want. The jumping mullet, which is quite good, but a very strong tasting fish, which a lot of that puts off a lot of folks. But the jumping mullets are the ones who are known for their mullet roe come September-ish time period. When they have the mullet roe, very good eating, but again, not everybody likes that type of flavor. Oak Island Fishing Charters reports the bonita are keeping us busy on our 4 to 5 hour trips. Sashimi quality meat, not to be confused with false albacore. So that's very important. These bonitos are not false albacore. People tend to you can eat false albacore, and I know somebody's throwing something at the screen at me right now, but it's not the same thing as a bonito. I did an article once, what did I call it? False albi bonita tunies. That's what I called them all, because sometimes it's so difficult to tell them apart, so I just call them all by one name, False Albi Bonito Tunies. You can do whatever you want. All right, and I want to show you this from Oak Island Surf. A 5-year-old Reed Smith from Tennessee caught this red drum off of Oak Island using, as the report goes, a mullet. And here they're talking about a jumping mullet. Folks, send me fishing report information. If you got videos to show that we can air, send them to us. If you know of a charter boat captain or a business or a pier or anybody that has a website that we can access fishing report information, send it to me. We're always looking for people to do programs about, and that includes whether we're doing a how-to segment, whether it's a political issue, a governmental issue, a management issue. Just let me know, send it on in. And by the way, thank you folks for correcting me for why I don't know. In the prior show, I was calling Jeanette's Pier from Kitty Hawk and not Nag's Head. But thank you for correcting me at all times. If I'm ever wrong about something, let me know, fire away. Email me, billhitchcock@mail.com, billhitchcock@mail.com, or post right here at YouTube. Until then, I am Bill Hitchcock. See ya.
Post your questions, comments, and concerns here on YouTube, or email them directly to Bill Hitchcock at this address.